What's up, YouTube? Alright, so we're going to do the Galaxy S5 glass only repair. The toolkit that you see here is everything that's online and on Amazon if you want to, do it yourself and not go to a store and spend some money. Pretty much what I'm taking out here is the UV light. That's UV glue right there. That's the only way to cure it. Plastic razor blade so you don't scratch your entire screen after you clean it. And some tools here. Um, so there's a metal wire there that's probably going to be your best tool in doing this repair. Um, so I'm going to fix a non-cracked phone just to show you guys to do it real easy. I'm going to start here taking off the battery and use the blue pry tool that's there, pop that off, and then what that is the ribbon cable to the home button, which is connected to the bottom. So we're just going to want to take that out and just leave it hanging there. Okay, let's turn it over. And you don't really need a heat gun. I mean, unless you're going to be doing more than a couple of repairs, but a blow dryer should work fine. Obviously put it on the hottest setting. The foams can withstand a lot of heat. So just, if your girlfriend has or if you're a girl doing the repair, if you have a blow dryer that's pretty cheap, it might not work, but just make sure it gets pretty hot. If it burns your hand when you leave it there, then it'll probably work. So we're gonna go around and heat the entire screen. The way the S5 was set up is that the S4 comes off with some screws. The S5 doesn't. So we're just gonna heat up the entire screen so we can pull the LCD with the glass completely off of the frame. You don't have to do it like this. I mean, whenever I do the repair, I do it like this so I can, get it as perfect as I can for the customers. If not, you can just, if you get enough heat and you can get the playing card like I'm about to do here in between, and then you can just pull the metal wire through. So that's another way of doing it. I just, like I said, I take off the entire LCD because it's just a better way of doing it. So just be really careful. If you notice that I slide the playing card, try to do it like that. Right behind, you don't know what's back there. I do. So just follow it as best as you can in the video, and you don't want to rip anything because it's very easy to rip the touchscreen panel. So, it could work fine and then you realize that you broke the touchscreen, which is highly unlikely if you do it the way that I'm doing it. So just don't slide the playing card past that and you should be fine. Okay? Once we get that screen lifted off, on the bottom you have back buttons and menu buttons. You don't want to mess with them too much. Just give it a lot of heat so you can pull it right up. Home button, push that through the frame, and then we're gonna go ahead and take off this entire flex cable with the LCD and the glass. So if I was able to help you out so far, just hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps me out a lot. So it just, while you're watching the video, just press like. And then in the description, you can subscribe. I always put up some videos, and if you guys request me to do something, I'll do it for you, no problem. And that's it. That's all I want from you guys for doing this video. So, all right, let's get back into the screen repair. That's what we're here for. Heat up the screen again. It needs to be super, super hot. As hot as you can get it, obviously, with a blow dryer. And the idea here is the reason there's playing cards is because you want to just make a nice incision point, because if you just go and use a metal wire, 2 things can happen. One, it works perfect and you just save some time. The second thing is that behind the glass and the glue and in between the LCD, there's something called a polarizer sheet that you don't want to get underneath, because it just becomes a more difficult repair, and you gotta buy another part, and it just kind of keeps that shade on your phone, because if not, it'd be too bright. So you want to put the playing card kind of in between, so that as soon as you have it in between the glass and the glue, you use the metal wire, and you'll see once you lift it a little bit, you should be fine. You don't want to push too hard because you can break the LCD. And if it's not working for you, you have 4 different corners to work from. So just try inside. You see, I didn't have a lot of luck here on the top part. I go on the bottom, 2 seconds goes right through because it was nice and hot. And you'll see we grab the metal wire and just pull it straight through. Obviously, if your screen is cracked, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than this. I mean, really not necessarily. It might be easier because the screen will get hotter. Um, but just make sure you keep the wire as straight as possible. Don't lift it up because then you're gonna cut the wire with the glass. So that's it. 2 seconds. Hard part's over. And if you were able to do all of that without breaking anything, I mean, everything else here is just prepping the phone ready to put the new glass on. Um, Step 1, test your screen, make sure everything is still working fine. And then we gotta clean the leftover glue off of the LCD. And after that, we just put the UV glue, the glass, and then we start curing it. We also have all the tools that you need in the description below. So just, we have them on Amazon and on the website. So feel free if you feel like you can do it. And if you're gonna attempt to do it yourself and you run into a problem, just comment. We're pretty quick on responding back, and we'll see if we can help you out. Alright, once you test it here, everything looks good, still working. Go ahead and carefully lift this again. When you do clean the screen with the razor blade, you'll see that I lift that whole top part up because you don't want to, you want to get it on a flat surface. If you're going to do it, don't do it on a, like, I don't know, on a kitchen mat or anything like that. Do it on as flat a surface as possible. As far as the cleaning, rubbing alcohol, anything over 90%, the higher the better. You're not going to find anything 99%, but if you go to any like drugstore or your supermarket, you can find anything over 90, I think it's still 91. And just use that, use the brush. If your screen is cracked, you'll probably have some shards of glass, and just, kind of move them around. And what that alcohol will do is it'll start like eating away at the glue, and it'll make it easier when you use the razor blade to just peel it right off. And just heat it up again. Make sure the glue is not super cold because you'll have more chances of breaking it. So heat it up, and we'll get right into it here with the razor blade. This is a very easy part. I mean, God, there's like a 1 in 100 chance of breaking this. You just don't press down too hard, and just try to do like some kind of use the same motions I'm using. Don't go straight, because then you're just gonna push the entire thing. Just kind of pretend like you're cutting at it, and then just peel it away. You can use your fingers too. If you get it hot enough, you can just kind of shimmy your fingers up the LCD, and it'll pull all the stuff off. And then once you have most of the residue off, then you go cleaning it with a paper towel, and then finish it off with a microfiber cloth. And if you don't, just like a shirt or something will work fine. I mean, look at all the things you have to do because you didn't put a case on your phone. I mean, just buy a case. It's annoying. I mean, Is it easy to do? I think the S5 is very easy to do, but a case would have just saved you this headache, you know? Now you're either thinking of doing this yourself, or you're thinking, God, this is too difficult. I'm just gonna take it to a shop where they're gonna charge me $100 and something, and you know, just buy a case. At least after you fix it, buy a case. And we're almost done cleaning it, guys. Please don't use a metal razor blade. You're gonna scratch the entire screen. Use the plastic one that comes in the kit. Okay, once most of that is off, um, go ahead and any paper towel will do, and just clean everything off. The good thing about the Loca Glue is that there's different um, viscosities of it, and you know, the grade, if it's good, or there's like a medium, there's like the best one. The one that comes in the kit is the best one. It's the TP 2500. I know I'm talking Chinese to you guys here, but pretty much it just saves you in the future from your screen turning yellow, and if you do get any bubbles or air pockets, they kind of pop by themselves. So, and the screen doesn't have to be super clean here. And keep that in mind too, when you're cleaning it, it doesn't need, I mean, as long as it doesn't have any lint or leftover glue or anything, I mean, it can have those alcohol streaks, and you should be fine. Once you put the glue on there, it kind of dissipates all that stuff, and it'll look like factory. Just gonna go ahead and test it here and make sure everything's still working good. And I'll come back on as soon as we get the glue on. Okay, putting the glue on. Use uh, the same shape that I'm using. It almost looks like a stick man, I guess. And it's the best way to do it so that you can hit all parts of the screen. If you blob it in the center, then you're not gonna remember it's like a rectangle, so you're not gonna get everything where it's supposed to be. This is the best way that you can do it when you're putting the glass on. So you see how there's bubbles? They'll just pop by themselves. I mean, if there's any leftovers, use the flathead screwdriver that comes in the kit, or if you have some tiny pliers, pop them out, and you should be fine. There we go. And when you do this, you want to do it as slow as possible. Um, you'll see I didn't speed up the repair here at all, so I can show you guys real time how long it took me. And if you drop the screen too fast, immediately you'll have air bubbles everywhere. You're gonna have to clean the entire screen again, put new glue on. So just be patient in this part. Just think that you did everything without breaking anything, and just do it slow. Start from the bottom side. If your phone looks kind of like how this one looks, your menu button and your back button will be um, kind of just pointing straight up, and you just want to push them back down with the glass, and then we'll start here putting putting this on very carefully. Notice it started right there, and it kind of just flows through in between. So that's what you want. You want that that liquid flowing through very slow. If you see that it starts going fast, like I'm using the flathead screwdriver here so that I can get him a little bit more space in there, so I can do it slower. Just want to let it get all the way to the top. If you want to just give it a quick push, that's fine. And, this isn't like the iPhones, you can't really mess up the backlight. You don't want to push too hard. The glue will eventually, surround the phone completely. And then with the UV light, you just want to cure it a little bit enough so that you can turn it around. And just clean everything, put the home button back on. And then once we turn it back around, you're going to want to use the UV light as long as possible on there. I would recommend you guys 5 to 10 minutes so it cures everything perfect. You don't want it to be super liquidy in there. And at some point when you're driving your car, just leave it on the dash. The sun has UV light too. I wouldn't really recommend doing that, but it's an alternative. If you don't buy the kit, you can use UV light. I don't know how it works, but once you're done, just put it back on the phone. Try to get the corners, especially more than anything. You don't want any liquid to seep out of the sides. So once you put the phone back in, because it's just going to be in there for good. And like I said, 5 to 10 minutes should be fine. I cured it. I paused the video to cure it. I didn't just do it for 30 seconds. So. Another thing to do, if you doing it like how I did it, the reason that I put the LCD back in the phone was so that it was nice and aligned, because if you just freehand it, it's not gonna fit in your phone again. So just make sure that you put the glass with the actual phone on it. That's why we did it like that. Clean the rest. Make sure there's no leftover glue, and then as far as the phone adhering to the frame, it has all that leftover double-sided tape on there, and just squeeze it on there as good as possible. Your phone will not be waterproof anymore, so just remember that. And everything's working fine here, guys. Do not forget the home button. You don't want to close your phone and then you completely forgot it. So I didn't really get a good angle here, but just use a screwdriver and kind of fix it in through the hole on that frame, and it should go right through. You pull it with your fingers and just clip it right back on. And then we'll squeeze it down here. Do a light squeeze and then push everything in really good, as good as you can with your fingers. Kind of slide your fingers through all the corners of the phone, and it'll stick back on there pretty good. If you guys do succeed in doing it, comment. Say that it was too difficult, or you were able to do it and it came out great. That's what I'm hoping. And again, subscribe, like. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I have a bunch of other videos. If you guys want a tutorial on something else, let me know.